And welcome to BBB Communications Television News. I'm just ready to give you your news today here on this channel. Appreciate you being with us today. Hope you've had a good day so far. And looks like, again, another long week. It's been a real long week for sure. We're live and direct from our home studio today here on the newscast, as, again, some freezing rain kind of kept a lot of things from happening as far as normality, and many of you may have the day off again today. It's been a trying week for a lot of us, but we'll get right to our stats outside and look outdoors. And again, some cloudy skies out there with some snow flurries around. As we're looking at today, our stats are showing 30 degrees. Now, that is our current temperature around 3:30 this afternoon. And as of this 5 o'clock newscast, humidity around 82%. The wind's variable, anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 30.14, and steady right now. That's good. Dew point at around 25. And, of course, visibility also limited, about a mile and a half visibility today with a wind chill factor of around 25 degrees. So tonight, we'll see isolated flurries before 7 tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy through the night. Low tonight about 8 degrees. And then Saturday, we'll look for a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, high near 22, and wind chill factor -2 to about 8 degrees. So that wind's going to make a difference tomorrow. Brandon Bonds will be around to talk about the rest of the forecast here for you in just a few minutes, so stay tuned to that. Well, in headlines, really everything's just due to the weather. We do have other news we'll get to in just a few minutes, but first up, as we look at the road conditions, most of your main roads, interstates, of course, in great shape. And Highway 61, 62 now through Oliver Springs, up near Coalfield, up to Wartburg in pretty good shape as well. Highway 27, north of Harriman, south of Rockwood, still a little slick down there. But we're looking at, again, most of the secondary roads are still very slick and very treacherous out there. Many folks haven't been out in nearly a week now, so that's becoming being an issue. And even some patients are running thin, but we do encourage you to stay patient as, again, these road crews are doing all they can to try and get this weather, winter storm blast we've had this week cleaned up, hopefully by mid next week. But it may even take until midweek next week before some of these back roads are even without any snow cover on them. With that said, we'll move as we're combining Anderson and Roane County news today together, and Morgan, and, of course, our viewing audience all across the region. Roane County Road Superintendent Dennis Ferguson joins us now. Dennis, and it's been something that you've been working on all week long, now moving into the new weekend. How's it looking today?
Well, we're working on it. I'm down in Angler's Cove at south of the river right now, and we're getting a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of sand the road, but still it's just solid ice. Majority of it is, but we're trying to push and do the best we can down here, so I mean we're working around the clock.
I know you are. Freezing.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we just can't. It's just ice. The ground just froze on us. Most of the time we could just take snow off, but in this situation, it's just packed down there and it's just froze. And we're just hoping that the sun and get some melting along the way and that we can get a hold of it. But right now we're not having a real good luck just in places where the sun's at, where we've sawed it, where we've brined and stuff, starting to kind of turn loose.
All right.
And when we get something that's turned loose, we're pushing the best we can. Yeah, we'll work around the clock. We've been here since last Saturday at 2 o'clock. And my guys last night, we on flat ground down at when this last little deal that hit us last night, this rain and sleet really kind of messed us up.
Right.
So we're working on it. We got a truck. We was heading to Crystal Cove last night down the lower end of the county, down Eagle Furnace.
That's a bad area.
It was on our way down there and on the flat road there going across Wiggs Chapel. The truck got sideways in the road.
Right. It's dangerous. Dangerous for our drivers, too.
Actually, 3 of us we went out there last night. I went out last night and we was able to get them out. We couldn't even get a record to come out. They couldn't. It was so sleek they couldn't stay on. It was solid ice going into Rockwood last night.
We know your crews are doing all they can, and we thank you for joining us today. Again, we do encourage you as well that if you do call in the office, of course, there'll be someone manning there, I'm sure, this weekend. But please be patient, and they're doing the best they can out there to try and get the roads. Most of the people that are stuck really are in the mountains and the hills, ain't they, Dennis? I mean, in those very isolated areas.
Well, it's the isolated areas, and we're trying to work them too. We're trying to respond to everything that we get as we can. But we was doing really good yesterday afternoon. We thought we was making a good headway on it. Then that sleet and rain come in, just turned straight to ice. And when it went to ice, it kind of played everything down. My guys, like I said, they had to spend the night there last night. They wanted to travel home.
Wow.
So I had a bunch of them just have to stay there and try to rest in chairs wherever they could get in to get some rest. But it's just awful. It's an awful storm that we got, but we're working on it the best that we can.
That's right.
We can stay here and work on it till it's done.
Very unusual, of course, as the zero temperatures hit after the snow, and that's really what impacted it as to being a week-long event. So stay safe out there, Dennis, and your crews as well. Appreciate you joining us today, and we'll be back with you maybe Monday or Tuesday to see what the result is after this weekend. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thank you, sir. All right, you too. Dennis Ferguson joining us live right there on the road reports in Roane County. Of course, it's like he says, it's most everywhere you go right now is that way. Moving to other things, as far as road conditions, most everyone knows last night we had a terrible situation where a tractor trailer got sideways on Interstate 40 coming down Rockwood Mountain, which completely blocked Interstate 40. That was around just before 10 o'clock last night. Thankfully, only slight injuries there. Ambulances did have to go in the wrong direction to get to the wreck scene from the Harriman exit, so they went westbound in the eastbound lanes. One person taken to the hospital for evaluation in that situation there on Rockwood Mountain. In Anderson County, several of their, some of their trucks, well, I should say one snow truck or snow plow, it hit the ditch, and then there was other areas as well where some county deputies had some problems navigating some of the roads in the hills, as well as numerous accidents. I-75 in Campbell County shut down last night also due to the freezing rain, so it's been a trying time for sure out there for everyone. And without being redundant on all the things we've been talking about, again, closures today, as you know, the courthouse was closed and just about everything, because this has been a week where really we've not seen the courthouses and municipal governments closing as much as they have this week since the 93 blizzard. So it's just one of those storms. We're all going to get through it. Everything will be fine. Speaking of that, TEMA now says that 17 people have lost their lives due to the inclement weather and this winter storm. The latest, they say, is a Roane County man. We do know this, that Mr. James Maynard, 75 years of age, this according to our sources, was found unresponsive in the backyard of his home in Rockwood yesterday evening at 311 South Chamberlain Avenue. We understand through our communications with EMA Director Tim Suter and the medical examiner that apparently Mr. Maynard was working on pipes under the home when he came outside for some unforeseen reason, must have suffered some type of heart issue, and was then taken to the hospital to be checked out, of course, and pronounced dead there. But again, James Maynard, who actually worked at Roane State Community College for many years as a security officer there, was the number 17 or 17th death in the state of Tennessee due to this inclement weather. So that's what we got as updates right now. We'll be back with more right after the break here on this network and on BBB Communications. You just stay with us.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me, for all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354.
And welcome back to our BBB Communications Television News. Of course, covering this winter storm this entire week. And, of course, all the courthouses, the courthouse has been closed in Roane, Anderson, and even Morgan. It's just been a trying week. Of course, road conditions have improved on the main roadways. But now we got Gary Long on the phone with us. Gary, I know that your crews have been very busy. This actually costs a few extra bucks that have to be budgeted in somewhere, but it looks like you're making some headway on some of the flatter roads. But what about some of the main roads up toward the mountains, and how much have you got to cover, and how are you doing right now with your crews?
Well, we appreciate the question, and our crew's been very busy all week. There's about 730 miles of county road. The thing about this episode here, we had some of them in pretty good shape. We came back through and we had to start over, and then we got another dose of it yesterday afternoon, about 7:15, a little ice storm.
Right.
And we've had to start over again. We're getting some of the main roads opened up, but there's ice, seems like, on all of them. The temperature is a big factor in it. It's never gotten a really good temperature for the thawing and
yes,
for the roads to thaw out and get really usable. But if anybody's got to get out, please be careful and don't go if you don't have to. But I know the temperature is going to drop again tonight, and the wind factor, and it's going to be that way. The snow and ice will be here till it warms up. I mean, that's the evident fact.
That's the worst we've seen since the blizzard, I assume, right?
Well, yes, most snow at one time since the blizzard of '93, to my knowledge. Actually, we worked on the blizzard of '93. Yes, and we're thankful and lucky to get to live in East Tennessee, but the ridges and the elevation changes and the cold spots, doesn't get sunlight when we get sunshine.
Right.
It's very trying.
It is, no doubt about that. And, of course, with that 0 temperature the next night after the snow, that didn't help. That's really what has compacted the issue all across the region is freezing temperatures that never got above freezing, as you mentioned. Hats off to your guys and your crews. I know you guys have been busy. You've been getting text messages, phone calls. I don't know how you stood it all week, but you guys have survived, and we sure appreciate your service to the county, and we just ask people to be patient, right?
Yes, please be patient and courteous, and like I say again, thanks to our crew for the job they've done and the dedication.
Any special places they need?
You got to really enjoy the job to do it, and we're lucky in my crew and all local crews. They're really fortunate to enjoy the job, and they do a good job, and we appreciate it and want everybody to be safe, okay?
All right, Gary, thank you again for joining us today. Any really special areas you'd like to highlight quickly?
No, I mean, it would be almost impossible to highlight any when there's actually usage of areas that we have. We just got there's concerns with about all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the main roads are better, but you know, your interstates and state routes, some of them are better now than they were, and they've been trying all week. It's the frigid temperature that makes it such a challenge.
Thankfully, no fatalities on the roads. That's good news as well.
That is. It's great news, and our crew, we've all been lucky and been very fortunate to my knowledge and not had any serious accidents or anybody injured. So it's a blessing, and we appreciate the public understanding, and thank you for what you do, making them aware of it.
Thank you, Gary. And Godspeed the rest of the weekend. We know you'll be busy all the way through the middle of next week. All right, Gary Long joining us today here on BBB Communications, and we appreciate him joining us today and hope that that gives people a little bit of help there as well. We're going to do some quick headline updates only right now. City of Oak Ridge is getting some grant money. That's right. It is coming around $800,000 to help the Horizon Center get some development going in there to make it more adaptable to some businesses. State Senator Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, State Senator Ken Yeager, Representative John Reagan, and also Representative Monty Fritz appreciative to the incentive programs to get that grant funding to them. And don't forget, Monday night, weather permitting, the School Board of Oak Ridge will meet as they will be looking at the extension for the contract of Dr. Bruce Borchers, the Oak Ridge School Superintendent, who's been in this system now since 11 years, coming here from Missouri. So they'll look at his extension for his contract as well and keep that in mind. Work symposium at Roane State will be coming up in March. We'll have much more on that as an AI specialist. Dr. Lynn Parker, a UT vice chairman, will be there at Roane State's Harriman campus to talk about what the future of the workforce may look like in 2030. So some interesting tips there as well. Brandon Bonds' weather is next. We'll be back as well to do some funeral announcements for you and conclude with some closings and cancellations as well here on BBB Communications, live and direct from home today, our home studios, and we'll be back. Stay with us.
Chancellor Jamie Brooks has been practicing law in Anderson County for over 30 years. He knows our community, our people, and our values. He's a conservative with the experience and temperament you want in a judge. He listens courteously, considers thoughtfully, and upholds the law. That is why Governor Bill Lee appointed him to the bench. The Republican primary is March 5th. Let's keep Jamie Brooks as our Republican chancellor in Anderson County.
Dad always worked hard, and even though he could never tell me exactly what he did at the lab, I knew he was doing it for us. He was always there for me, for all of us. But now it's my turn to keep him safe. It's good to know there's help.
To find out how to get all the benefits you or your loved one has earned with their medical benefits card, call the home option and see how we can help.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference, so we can all continue to move forward together.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Daniel Forrester has been trusted by Anderson County families for nearly 2 decades. Daniel has appeared in Anderson County Chancery, Circuit, Sessions, and Juvenile Court thousands of times over the past decade. A Rule 31 mediator, Daniel has been trusted to mediate hundreds of cases across Anderson County. A community leader, Daniel has worked closely with local officials to make Anderson County a better place. A conservative and dedicated husband and father, Daniel's faith has shaped his character and integrity. On March 5th, vote Daniel Forrester for Anderson County Chancellor.
Good afternoon, and a cold and wintry one it is across East Tennessee. Secret City weather here with your afternoon video update. Taking a look first to your Newfound Gap Cam. Almost a foot of snow reported here on the higher peaks of the Smokies. Elsewhere, though, starting to see some gradual decrease in that cloud cover. That'll continue overnight tonight, but those temperatures going to be very cold, not only for your Saturday, but as well as into Sunday. Taking a look outside, Knoxville sitting at 28, Clinton Oak Ridge 26, down to the south, Athens 29. Check out Crossville, already nearing 20. For our surface map, high pressure beginning to fill in very slowly across the northern plains. That'll sink south and eastward here the next couple of days. That's going to veer off for dry weather across the area, but blistery cold temperatures for the overnight tonight into Saturday. Cold as well for Sunday, but a warming trend does arrive by early next week. In fact, we're going to veer above average by the middle of next week. We break down model guidance here. Some lingering flurries can't be ruled out here into the evening hours, but otherwise drying out, clearing out overnight and into Saturday. Very cold as we work throughout the weekend, and then by early next week, Monday night into Tuesday, we'll start to see some showers filling back in, and that's going to be a heavy trend as we move forward throughout next week. Taking a look here at the outlook, 6 to 10 day to close out the month of January. Not only are we veering well above average in terms of those temperatures, but not shown here as well above average precipitation. So going to be a warm and wet one to close out the month of January and as we near February. Getting into tonight's forecast, very cold night in store. Overnight lows bottoming out in the single digits. We'll see cloud cover decreasing. Winds out of the west between 5 and 10 miles per hour. That's going to create wind chills sub-zero up to minus 10 degrees. Please stay warm, bundle up if you have to be outdoors. Take it easy there. That could create some slick spots in the morning with lingering moisture on the grounds. If you take a look here at our full forecast, brought to you by Central Baptist Church of Oak Ridge, clearing out into Saturday, but very cold, highs topping out around 20 for most locations. Starting that warming trend by Sunday, though, around freezing, back up into near average by Monday, and then above average into Tuesday, but we will see those showers return. Those will continue at times mid to late week as well for your forecast. That'll wrap it up here on your Friday from Secret City Weather. Bundle up, stay warm, stay indoors if possible. Slick spots are expected into Saturday morning. Going to be very cold, wind chills, sub-zero.
And thank you, Brandon, for the weather today. Of course, we're looking for that light at the end of the tunnel next week for sure. No doubt about that. We're needing all those 40s and 50s so bad, but hope you're doing well. This has been a trying week for all of us, of course, in the weather, and everyone's had to deal with this. No one has been exempted, for sure. Moving to our funeral announcements. By the way, we will mention that I think Oak Ridge and Powell basketball game Tuesday's been canceled, as we know right now, and there could be others. I'm sure that they're just not doing the basketball games right now. Parking lots are still very, very packed with snow and ice. I know many of you know that. We'll go to our funeral announcements for today, and hope I got most of these correct here on this edition as we'll look now to these funeral announcements. Mrs. Odeline Cole Payne, age 87, a Sunbright, passed away January 17th. Family will receive friends on Sunday, January the 21st, this Sunday at Schubert's. That's in Wartburg. They'll start there. Looks like 12 noon to about 2 p.m. with the funeral to follow. And then also John Mark Wedby, age 43, passed away on January the 16th. The family will receive friends on Monday, January 22nd. That'll be from the hours of 6 to 7. That will be at Mount Pisgah Baptist Church near Oliver Springs. The funeral service will follow. The graveside will be on Tuesday next week, and that'll be at 11 a.m. at the Mount Pisgah Church Cemetery. Mrs. Tamela Gertrude Arms Nelson, affectionately known as Tammy, age 65, of Lansing, passed away on Sunday, January the 14th. The family now will receive friends at 1 o'clock. That'll be Saturday, tomorrow, at Clear Creek Cemetery for the graveside. That's where they'll gather. Davis Funeral Home in Wartburg is serving the Nance family. William Reese Blodgett, age 78, passed away on Saturday last weekend. Bill belonged to the Upper Room Church in Rocky Top. Visitation will be from 1 until 3. That'll be on Monday, 1 till 3 this coming Monday, January 22nd, at the Hatmaker Funeral Home in Rocky Top. Funeral service will follow at 3 p.m. in the Hatmaker Funeral Home Chapel. Then graveside will follow the funeral service at the Oak Grove Cemetery in Rocky Top with military honors presented by the Honor Guard of Campbell County. J. Robert Halcomb, age 65, passed away surrounded by his family on January 12th. Celebration of his life ceremony will be held at Main Street Baptist Church on Saturday, tomorrow. That'll be at 2 o'clock in Rocky Top. Hatmakers of Rocky Top directing. Mike Yank Barker, age 64, passed away Thursday. Mike Barker. Last week, the family will host a celebration of his life. That will be from 5 until 8 on Saturday, January the 20th, tomorrow, at Okie Sports Grill in Oak Ridge. Family and friends will meet there at 2 o'clock. I should say that's tomorrow, from 5 till 8 at Okie's. And then on January the next day, family and friends will meet at 2 o'clock Monday, January 22nd, on Monday at East Tennessee State Veteran Cemetery for his graveside. Ray Ellis Williams, 86, passed away peacefully surrounded by family. That was on January 7th. Now the Williams family will receive friends on Monday, January 22nd from 4 until 6, with the funeral service to follow in the Holly Gamble Funeral Home in Clinton. Borough will be in East Tennessee Veteran Cemetery. Barbara Lee, Bobby Case Martin. Bobby Lee Martin, age 89, of Kingston, passed away peacefully surrounded by family on January the 6th at Canterfield Living Facility in Oak Ridge. The family is holding an open house to receive friends of the family, and at the family home, rather, in Kingston tomorrow, January 20th, from 1 till 3. Fraker Funeral Home, Kingston, directing. And Miss Tamela, well, I think I done had that one. And William Reese Bridget, I think I've got them all. At least that's what I have at the present time. Again, thanks for being with us today. It's been a trying week for all of us. Thank you for bearing with us as we are working at home a couple of times this week. We were actually off on Monday as the big snowfall hit late Sunday into Monday, which kind of paralyzed the area, and we're still dealing with those issues out there as well. Anytime you have a closing or a cancellation, we can post them on our Facebook page. You don't have to wait for someone to be at the station. Just simply email them to Brad at BBB-TV12.com, and we can get that as well. And that will be, of course, theevans30@comcast.net. And we'll just try to get those on. I'm not sure about churches this weekend. A lot of parking lots still froze unless they've got someone to scrape them and clean them. Check with your local pastor, your local church leaders. They'll no doubt on Facebook allow you to know that. We just don't have time to go through all the ones. It's probably easier to say which would be open than closed. So, again, thank you for joining us today and in this entire week. And we'll hope to see you back again on Monday when we'll have more news back live in the studio. We hope this coming Monday here for your local news. Again, we've combined Anderson and Roane today here on BBB Communications. Always keep us in mind. We'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week here on the news. From all those behind the scenes, so long.